Day 5 Word of God, Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 11. I will multiply upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit. And I will settle you after your old estates, and will do better unto you than at your beginnings. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. Sermon outline for Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 11. Ezekiel chapter 36 is part of a larger prophecy where God promises to restore Israel after the devastating Babylonian exile. The people of Israel had been scattered and their land left desolate because of their sin and rebellion. Ezekiel, a prophet during the time of exile, brings a message of hope and renewal. In this verse, God speaks of a time when he will multiply the people and animals, causing the land to flourish again. The restoration is not just a return to the former state, but something even better, demonstrating God's grace and sovereignty. This promise is both physical, blessing the land and its inhabitants, and spiritual, renewing Israel's relationship with God. Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 11 is a declaration of God's intention to bless Israel with abundant life and prosperity. The multiplication of man and beast signifies not just population growth, but overall prosperity in the land, fruitfulness, productivity, and peace. The phrase, better unto you than at your beginnings, is key, indicating that the restoration God promises is greater than their former state, showing that God's redemptive power is even greater than the initial creation. At the core of this transformation is the acknowledgement of God. Ye shall know that I am the Lord. This verse reflects God's heart for restoration, both physically and spiritually, bringing his people into a renewed covenant relationship with him. In Genesis chapter 12 verse 2, God promises Abraham that he will make him a great nation and bless him, a foreshadowing of the blessing and multiplication spoken of in Ezekiel. In Leviticus chapter 26 verse 9, God promises to look upon his people favorably, to make them fruitful and multiply, reinforcing the covenant relationship he has with them. In Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 3-5, after Israel's disobedience, God promises to restore them, gather them from all nations, and bless them in the land once again, a direct parallel to Ezekiel's prophecy of renewal and restoration. In John chapter 10 verse 10, Jesus promises abundant life to his followers, which echoes God's promise in Ezekiel to not only restore but to do better than before. In Acts chapter 3 verse 19-21, Peter speaks of times of refreshing and restoration from the Lord, which aligns with Ezekiel's message of spiritual and physical renewal. In Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20, Paul declares that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think, which mirrors God's promise in Ezekiel to do better than at the beginning. Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 11 offers a powerful message for the modern church. Just as God promised to restore Israel to a state greater than before, he promises his people today spiritual renewal and blessings. The church is called to trust in God's ability to bring growth, abundance, and spiritual fruitfulness, even in times of desolation or difficulty. This verse is a reminder that God's restoration is always greater than what was lost. Whether in personal struggles, community hardships, or times of spiritual dryness, we can look to God's promise of restoration and know that he is able to multiply our efforts, renew our hearts, and establish us in a deeper relationship with him. He will do more than just bring us back to where we were. He will do even better than our beginnings. God bless you and give you grace after grace.